Hi, welcome back to Detailing World. In this video, I'm going to be sharing some essential winter detailing tips, basically how to make it easier on yourself and also the whole process and how I kind of do it during the winter. So yeah, I hope you guys do find this useful. And starting off, and we'll jump straight into it, the first thing for me is layer up and stay dry. So yeah, that is the most important thing in my opinion. So make sure you've got a good pair of waterproof boots, or even wear some wellies if you have to, just to keep your feet nice and dry. Get a couple of layers on as well, you can always take them off later on. And then more importantly, I suppose, as well, is being comfortable with a nice beanie hat, woolly hat, or some gloves as well. So these are waterproof sealskins and I've had these for years. As a side note to staying warm and trying to keep dry, I also recommend using warm water in your wash wherever you can. So if you don't do that anyway in the summer, I would definitely try doing that in the winter. I know if you guys are professionals, if you're mobile valeters or anything like that, it can often be difficult, which is where these are an absolute lifesaver. These have come in so many times on past detailing jobs when I used to do a lot of this. Yeah, regular as a part-time driveway detailer, so to speak, where I used to go to customers and friends' houses without warm water. So yeah, stay warm, stay dry. That's probably the number one in my opinion. So starting off with the detail then, once you are laid up and you're warm and dry and all that, for me, winter is a time where you're going to be using a lot of citrus pre-wash. So we have done a video on this. If you've not seen that, I'll put a link up here of citrus pre-washes versus snow foams. In the winter, citrus pre-wash is going to do a lot of the cleaning for you, and this will basically go on to the next stage of minimizing the contact washes. So yeah, invest in some good all-purpose cleaners, something you can dilute, something like the Koch Chemi range, Auto Smart's G101, that's a great pre-wash, you can dilute that down really well. Or even the Bill Hamber Surfex HD, another cracking pre-wash product that you can just use, spray all the lowers or the entire car in that. Using something like, I know this is another plug here, using something like a Maralex sprayer or something like that, a big 5-litre drum that you can pump and just go around the car and pressure spray that all down. Leave that soak for a few minutes. If you wish, chuck a snow foam on top and then rinse that off. Walk away, get back in the warmth. So yeah, pre-washes are not to be underestimated come the winter time. Again, for the Maralex sprayers, I'll put a link up here to a video we've done on those as well. Once you've done your initial pre-wash then, for me, it's all about a minimal contact over winter. So quite often, I'll probably not even touch the car for a month or two at a time, but I will rinse it down because there's a lot of salt and grit can get on your car. So whilst ever it's sort of not snowing and there's no grit on the road, then by all means you can probably go ahead and do your usual contact wash with, obviously a wash mitt, drying towel and all of that. However, in my opinion, I just go in there, blast all the snow foam off, do the initial pre-wash, and then pretty much leave it at that on quite a lot of occasions. Maybe wash it once a month, but yeah, try and get in there. If you've got a wheel arch lance, get in there if you can, give that a really good blast out to get all the grit and the salt out of those. Do that on a weekly basis if you can, but for me it's all about trying to reduce the swirls, the scratches that can be inflicted from all the grit that you pick up off the road. So that's why for me, over the winter, yes, keep your car clean, but you don't need to keep it immaculate. It's just going to get dirty the next minute you leave the driveway. And I know you can say that any time of the year, but that's true more so in the winter. And depending on your commute to work as well, if it's a dusty, dirty road, or if it's a motorway commute every single day, you're just going to get all that splash up there. So for me, minimize the contact wash where possible. So as we mentioned earlier then, once you've done your citrus pre-wash, that can have some negative impacts on the wax or sealants that you may be using. Again, we've covered this in a video, which I'll put links to that. What you may find you want to do is top up any protection you've got on your car. And as I've mentioned, you want to try and minimize contact on the car. So what do we do here? Well, for me, you would be using a spray-on product. So either something like the Detailed Online sort of spray-on, rinse-off kind of SiO2 detailers, or something like from Valet Pro or Auto Glim, which is your Polar Seal and your Snow Seal ranges that you can just put in your snow foam lance and blast that all over the car, leave it for a few minutes, rinse it off. And again, you can just walk away at that stage. So yeah, it's not the ideal because you've not gave it a contact wash, but again, you add in something which is better than nothing, helping to protect the car from the elements again. So that is another kind of like quick tip for you there, just to speed things up on those cold winter days, is use spray on, rinse off type of protection products. Do that once a month, but the key thing before that is actually doing a good winter prep. So this one isn't necessarily a tip as such, but it's more thinking about the runoff water. So whilst you've layered up, you may find that you yourself feel quite warm, but you've not realised the water that's just come off your car is frozen on the ground. Just be mindful of that. This is just a quick tip. Be mindful of the frozen groundwater or products even freezing on the paintwork. If it's far too cold, just don't, if you don't need to. As I said earlier though, you can do your contactless wash and then get inside. But yeah, be mindful of the runoff water, especially if you have a lot of visit as well. Maybe throw some grit down afterwards, or just do maybe an ONR if you want to, but that does mean a contact wash. So yeah, just be mindful of that. So touching on something a moment ago where I said you need a good winter prep. For me, I normally have a week off at the end of November, so that is when I typically do my winter detail. And at this point, this is where you want to do your decon if you really want to do it, and apply a really good wax. In my opinion, I would be going over the wax route rather than say like a ceramic coating route, especially if you are a driveway detailer, an enthusiast, something like that. The temperatures are far too cold at this time of year to really apply ceramic coatings properly, unless you can of course get into a heated garage, a unit, something like that. So I would go down the waxing route, pick a good durable ceramic wax, ceramic infused wax, something like that, or the classic sort of like Finish K 1000P, Culinite 476. They've been some of my favourite winter waxes for many, many years. I really do like those. But again, the ceramic waxes that I've mentioned as well, we've used quite a few of them again from Detailed Online and Pyramid Car Care. Again, I'll put links to all of these in the descriptions below, and any discount codes we may have as well, because we have got a lot of discount codes available for you guys. So yeah, that's another one, is get your winter prep done before it gets too cold. As I said, normally around about November time, so yeah. So going back to an earlier point then, is the pressure washer. So yeah, this one to me is where you're probably going to hammer your pressure washer more than you would do any other time. So not only are you just going to be using it to apply a snow foam and do your pre-rinse and then the rinse after your wash, after your shampoo, you're going to use this pressure washer a lot. So get right in the arches, as I mentioned earlier, under the sills. If you've got an extension bar or something like that, or you feel comfortable, get into the wheels as well, get all the grit, the salt. So yeah, I can't stress enough that really it's just use the pressure washer a lot more than you would and just blast everything off there if you can. Just be mindful about your seals and your gaps and all of that, but you get what I'm saying. Blast all the flat panels, all the bodywork bits off as much as you can. So then once you've done your detail, and if you do want to dry the car, as you've probably gathered from this video, I'm a big fan of minimal contact over the winter. In the past, I have literally just rinsed it and then walked away. Yes, you may end up with water spotting, but we can sort that out come the spring detail, February, March, April time. If you've got the luxury like I have recently, you can dry the car off with a car dryer if you really, really want to. Another alternative would possibly rinse your car down with 0 ppm water. So again, we've done videos on both of these. So we've used the water filter from Race Glaze. Again, I'll put a link up here and in the description to that. The beauty with 0 ppm water, you can either connect it up and run a hose around the car or fill up a watering can, is you can just rinse the car off and walk away. It doesn't matter that the car is wet, because there's no mineral deposits or anything in that 0 ppm water, you're not going to get any water spotting. So that's one benefit of that. With the car dryer, you've got the benefit that you've dried the car. Or you can combine those two, so use 0 ppm and then blast it off with the car dryer. Again, we've got discount codes for the car dryer, that is DW10, and you can pick one of those up from Clean and Shiny. I do definitely recommend the blow dryers, absolutely loving that at the moment. But as I said, this one is kind of like an optional step, and yes, I'm a little bit spoiled here. I have purchased one of them. Definitely worth an investment if you can, but if not, just walk away. Just don't worry about it until February, March time. So there we have it then, that's my tips on winter detailing. As I said, that is just my own opinion, and I'm just a big fan of contactless washing over the winter months. Let me know in the comments below how you do your winter prep, any particular products that you do use, anything that you change, steps you miss, anything like that. Yeah, just leave a comment below. As always, if you have enjoyed this video as well, please make sure you smash that like button. Also, don't forget to subscribe to this channel as well. We've got a lot more content coming out, especially over these colder months whilst you're going to be stuck indoors. You'll get notified straight away and give you something to watch on those dark evenings. Don't forget to check us out as well on Instagram at Detailing World Official, and if you want to see the behind the scenes, all of that jazz, you can follow me as Random with Set. So yeah, I hope you found this video useful, and we'll see you in the next one.